GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Hello again, folks. Welcome along to GloryDaze. Sorry, I'm going to have to share that, right?
Yeah, I
before
was in a panic there. I was in a panic.
Literally just before we went on, right? So we were all set to go, and I put the microphones up or whatever, and PJ looks
and he
at me
goes,
like,
"Are you ready?" He says, "I was there." Oh fuck! I was there. What's happening? Oh, I was there. I don't know what the next bit of it is. And then I was like, "What's he doing?" And I was there. What's happening? You were like, "Yeah." I was there. Oh Jesus! And I had to look at the time. I'll be honest. I didn't realise the show was over. I thought the show was still on live. I didn't realise it was gone 10 a.m.
Oh my God.
We normally finish the show where I'm the one that goes, and that's the end of the show, and we'll talk to you tomorrow at 6, whatever.
Yeah.
Jason was in, so it was all confused.
It all got a bit weird.
Yeah, and I thought we were coming back to do it when he was gone. And then you're like, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Fucking hell, what are we doing now? It's a bit late." I was all confused. Oh my God, you scared the life out of me.
And the reason I wanted to share that with you is because sometimes people listen to the show and they think he's messing. They think he's hamming it up. But genuinely, even in normal life, he doesn't know where he is.
I don't have the clue. There was a question in the quiz today, and I had, what furry black animal runs out across the path and gives you bad luck? And I read it. I'm so lucky I read it before we asked the question, because I read it and went to myself, what furry-backed animal runs across people and gives them bad luck? I was thinking, the only one I can think of is Jim. I mean, I can't think of anything else. I had to read it twice. I was there, oh, furry black animal, right?
Oh my God.
I just said, jeez, that's it,
my
right?
God. Because genuinely, because when people say to me, you know, when I'm on my own or whatever, as in when we're not as a pair wandering around the place, and they say the only things I've said this to you before loads of times, right? And I'm sure I've said it on air or on the podcast or whatever. All that I ever get, if anybody sees me, is, where's PJ? PJ, which is he?
Where is he?
And it's like, what? I mean, I don't know what you assume.
Where is
happens,
he? But Jim puts me into a bouncer.
He's with his partner, or he's out at bowls, or he's on a bike, or
whatever.
something.
Yeah.
But it's always, and then it's like, you know, they'll say he's mad, isn't he? And I go, stop the light, yeah. And then they'll go, like, is he really like that? and I have to go. Well, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's not why they call it an act anyway, that's for sure.
Well, to be fair to you, there's actually been times when I don't know. There's been times when
he says it all the time. Sometimes we do the birthdays and all.
That's the main time.
And it's not often in work someone will kind of go, they make a face at you like you're so fucking stupid. And they'll go, after it, like, when no one's listening, just the two of us, he'll make, and you go, are you now? Did you know that? I was like, no. He goes, right. That is. You didn't know that
I consider it a
Ned
tribute.
Zeppelin wasn't a person or whatever it is at the time. I don't know. You know, like we one of them.
Jesus.
And it happens all the time, and he still regularly
The Rogers.
goes.
Whenever there's a feckin' Roger in a birthday, it goes in directions you can't even.
Why is there so many famous Rogers? It is stupid. Like, it is stupid. There's too many of them. You should have to change your name if you're a famous Roger at this stage. You know what I mean? Mother of God.
It does go on. And I genuinely think, now, is this like comedy brilliance, subtle comedy brilliance?
Yeah.
Or is this slight idiocy? I don't know.
You just no ability to pay attention to the detail.
Actually, the one shame about you being on the radio for this stuff is that they never get to see the expressions. Because the best expression that you'll ever see is when, you know, the song is coming to an end and you'll say to PJ, right, so what are we going on to? And there's an expression. It's very difficult to describe.
Just this vacant.
It's rabbit in the headlights meets a sense of kind of impending. Rabbit in the headlights meets. How would you describe? Jeez, it is very tough to describe.
Yesterday he goes, and now in fairness to me, like 30 seconds before we were supposed to go on the air, he goes, what is it we're going on to again? I was there, that's a good question. I haven't a clue. I don't know, man. I forget I'm the one doing the notes. I'll be honest with you. You know, I mean, it was fine. I did remember in the last. But we've gone. This has literally happened. And this not literally has happened. This happens all the time. Where Jim will say, "What are we doing?" And I'll say, "Oh, we're doing the thing about the penguins that eat raw meat." For instance, some story. And Jim will go, "Grand, okay, penguins that eat raw meat. Let's go. Bohemian Rhapsody have finished or something." Jim puts up the fader and he'll go, "So, what is it you think about penguins then?" And I go, "Penguins? What do you mean?" And he'd be like, you know the way there's penguins in the news today, isn't there? I'll go, "In the news?" And you're like, "Well, penguins, maybe a penguin that ate a burger or something." I go, "Oh yeah, they eat raw meat." And then I'll be like, "You tick you, why didn't you say?" You know, it happens regularly.
I've learned that not to be over subtle.
Drop it like a hammer, basically.
Because I remember we were doing something the other day, and it was like it was going to be a story about AI, artificial intelligence or whatever, right? And anyway, and you try to go into it subtle, make it look like, this is all just off the top of my head, blah blah blah. And I said something to you about it. I said, "But sure, look, technology's taken over everything," and you were like, "Yeah, what you mean, like?" You said to me, "What, like iPads and all?"
Like iPads and all. And he's like, "No, but the story we planned to do, where you wanted to talk, PJ, you wanted to talk about how AI is getting lazy."
Yeah.
Which is the irony of that I forgot what I was supposed to be doing because I was thinking about the World Cup or something at the time. I don't know.
It took me about 3 attempts to say something like, I'm just saying, technology kind of runs things now a lot. And as in,
everything,
how do you mean?
Like iPads, what are you on about? What are you talking about iPads for? You're like, I never even said iPads. And it's like...
I literally had to go, I mean, like, the way AI is now.
Yeah. I'll never forget as well, there was a guy, he died, right? And I'm after forgetting who it was. Here's like me all over. I'll never forget. I'm after forgetting who it was. That's me all. That's it now. That's what Jim has to put up with every day, right? That exact type of shite. I'll never forget. Now, I'm after forgetting who it was, but I'll never forget the situation. Right, but somebody died, right? And I was after looking at it, and literally just before we went on air, I went, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe who's after dying." And I said it to Jim, and Jim was like, "Oh my, that's very sad." Jeez, I'll be honest with you, Jim goes, "I thought he died years ago." And I went, "No, he didn't. No, I haven't. It's there in the paper today." And he goes, "Oh God, what happened to him?" And I says, "He had a heart attack." It's just there. The family have said he died surrounded by family peacefully, 13th of December, 24th. Oh, yeah, he's dead a while, all right, yeah. He was 7 or 8 years dead or something. And you were like, you were like, "I thought he was dead a while, all right." I was saying, "Jesus, man, he's nearly 8 years. Why did you let me say that?"
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. I do exactly remember that.
Yeah.
And the best part was, like, you knew the person. It wasn't like it was somebody you'd never heard of. I can't remember who the person was, but for you to have said, "Oh God, would you look who's
after dying?" Oh my, that's very sad. He was in a TV show or something that we used to watch. I can't remember. And you were like, "Oh my God, yeah. Oh, there you go." He said, "No, there it is. There, today's paper. 20. Look, surrounded by family. 23rd of December, 24th. Oh yeah." Then he's gone away. Yeah. Oh. It was some anniversary thing.
I'll tell you something. I have to say though, it is a roller coaster. it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
the average day in here, it is a roller coaster.
You
know what I mean?
I can't.
I mean, the one thing about it is you can never be fully sure
what's going on. What's going on? Yeah. I often feel like, the way in 1967 they found a Japanese fella in the woods. And he still thought World War II was on.
Yeah.
And he was hiding from the Germans and everything, and the whole lot. Or not the Germans, they were with the Germans. He was the Americans, some other bunch of soldiers. Anyway, he was hiding from them. The Koreans, who were they for? I can't remember. And he was in the woods, and it took them 6 months to talk him out.
Yeah.
Because when they were saying the war is over, he was like, "Oh yeah."
You would say that, wouldn't you?
You would say that, you shower.
I think I came down with the last.
Yeah. I'm not falling for you Germans in the first 1967. Spoofers, the lot of yous. And it took them ages to talk about, and he couldn't believe the war was over. 22 years or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I often know, I sympathise with that fella. I know what it's like to not have a sense of place, sometimes.
But that's the beauty of it. The part I love best about this is, when you've worked in radio a long time or whatever, and you're used to, people being, and it's a performance for them. Do you know what I mean? And they get ready and they go on and they prepare and they do all that.
Yeah.
PJ is. There's no question that you are natural.
But there's no question. It's natural.
Literally, and anything. I mean, things can happen to his body during the course of a show.
That's happened loads of times.
And it's not like it's kind of, there's no sort of big rush to be, oh God, that would be very unprofessional if that happened. There'll be a sneeze, a fart, there'll be a cough, there'll be anything can.
Yeah, and you'll be like, oh jeez, I'm sorry about that. That's after. Whoo! Sorry about that, Jim. I know you were talking about something,
But that's the thing.
You're like, yeah.
I don't mean while the songs are playing. I mean while we're having a conversation.
While we're having the chat, yeah, whatever. It happened today. I yawned once earlier. I was very tired this morning. And then I sneezed, yeah. And then you see, Pat Courtney comes in. What time's Pat Courtney's show on? It's like 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. And he comes in at like 11:30 or something. And he's like in the things, practicing his noises for the day. Wow. Wagga 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 wing ding ring a ding ding ring a ding. Put it in the oven, put it in the oven. Whoop 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 whoop.
Put it in the oven.
Yeah, but whatever.
What's
like
that?
I don't know. He's like, the cat's got a ding dong. Ring. He's practicing all day. He's in there practicing.
Wow.
And then he gets ready and so when he goes on, it's like going to see a piece of theatre or something.
Absolutely, it's a seamless ride.
Yeah, and
an audio jungle.
And then we're coming in. Jim is like, welcome to the show. Sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
See, that's the advantage. Pat has to record and store all those sound effects.
His sound effects. I can't help
You're
it.
like a live sound effect in the corner.
Yeah.
Radio Nova with PJ and Jim.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, me copies all over the place. Whatever one of those.
Wow.
I remember we had to do one thing with Pat Courtney. It was an ad or something, a promotion or something. Well, funny enough, I can't remember. But like, me and Jim were
do you
like...
know what it was? It was when he was filling in for us.
Oh, he was filling in. That's
Yeah.
what, we were going to do an ad for the handover. That's what it was. We were going on our holidays or something. It was like, Pat Courtney's going to do the mornings. And we were like, that was what we were thinking. Me and Jim, we loved it. Pat Courtney's here. He's going to be doing the mornings. What do you think, Pat? Wayne home. And he was going to do all the... And Pat's like, because he is just a different approach,
Yeah.
So he was like,
it's very much theatre of the mind.
What way are we going to work it? And he was like, he had all these like plans and all. It was like,
it was all,
I was like, plans.
There was stage design and everything.
Yeah, he's like,
if you come in from the left.
Yeah, I'm going to come in the door and you're going to be standing there and then there's going to be this moment of being a ghost. I was like, well, we'll do our best.
Yeah. PJ's there going, I've literally never prepared for that in my life.
I was there going,
Don't hold your breath.
I said, well, can I put my shoes on first? I didn't have time this morning. Yeah.
Oh my God. Right. That's it. I can do no more.
It's gas. I was doing my audio book this week.
Yeah. By the way, I have a bone to pick with you about that.
Right, yeah.
Why didn't I get your audiobook?
Well, Dave,
I know you wrote it.
I would have
why did you have to read it? Why couldn't I have read it?
They're €1,200. They give you €1,200 to read.
I've taken it. I need it more than you do.
I'd have done it too. 12 hours, 12 and a half hours of that shite. And that was the thing as well. Yeah, I read it, right? And I'm reading it. And it didn't happen a lot, but 3 or 4 times I was reading it and I was going, I should have read that before it went to print now. It's not really what I meant.
No, it's
too late now. It's literally gone.
It's made.
They're making them. They're printing them. Like there's boxes of them now. I was like, we're reading your own book wouldn't have been a bad idea, I suppose, in hindsight.
Yeah, just checking it a little bit even. Yeah.
Like there's one story that's just. I was like, that's not exactly what happens. I got 2 clubs completely mixed up. I was like, sure, it doesn't.
Did you read any bits where you went, jeez, maybe I shouldn't have said that about him?
Yeah, but I at least I know you'll forgive me, I'd advise you not to read the book, probably, And whatever anyone tells you, don't believe them.
Right.
Don't believe them.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I dread to think what fucking might be in there. Scary stuff. By the way, when the time comes, we're going to have to do... you're going to have to do those things that proper writers and stuff do. You're going to have to do those book readings. You know
I know. Yeah, I've had to book one in last night.
Where you come on and you'll.
They do.
No, fuck them. I don't give a about the kind of the bookshops and everything.
Oh, you mean just for this?
You have to do them here.
Oh yeah. Imagine
book readings.
The first time I met Jim, I saw this man approach. Unhappy with the fact he would have to share the studio with a moron, he gave me a deadly look.
By the way, I hope you didn't go the book route that you do on air. If you said, like, if there's this reference in that book to me being captured in the wild and shot with a tranquilizer dart, I'm going to be very pissed off.
Like I said, some of the stories were open to interpretation. One of them about how you were captured and brought to Ireland.
I'd say you took credit for it. I found Jim in the wild during the...
As I was walking through the Serengeti, I saw the famous white ape. I reached for my tranquilizer dart and covered it with peanut butter, knowing if I missed him, he'd chase the dart to lick it once it hit the tree.
Oh my God, I fucking dread this. Anyway, right, while I'm contemplating that, let's give you some of the best bits from during the week on the show. Why is Heavy Metal Cowboy written down
because
here?
We were talking about certain genres of music and how their fans behave, and those two genres actually have something in common, something very strong in common, really? Believe it or not. Yeah,
Heavy Metal Cowboy. Although it does have a nice ring to it, I have to confess. Although it just sounds like your interpretation of Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Heavy Metal Cowboy. I'll be there. Bruce Willis is coming. Bruce Springsteen.
Anyway, so Heavy Metal Cowboy, you can have a listen to that. Also, 1 in 10. Again, I've no idea what that refers to.
I'm not sure. I think 1 in 10 maybe. Is that the one about why people falling down the stairs and why some people are more likely and other people are not?
I've no idea. I'll tell you something. The best thing about this podcast
I love that we've done
it's going to be a voyage of discovery for me as well.
I love that this podcast has all been about how incompetent I am, and then Jim turns around to me at the end and goes, so, what's the rest of it about? Who are you asking?
Well, just when you were prepping it, I was doing something else at the time.
I'll tell you now, hold on a minute.
I was busy. My God. I'll tell you, which fits perfectly actually with the other bit that we do have for you, which we had a discussion about the ability to multitask, particularly obviously.
That's the one about the stairs.
It's generally associated with being a female trait, but and quite obviously I've just proved it is, because I can't do it. I can't do two things at once.
I can't do one thing at once most of the time. Being honest with you.
Right. And also, did you find it yet? What the 1 in 10 is all about?
4 in 10.
4
and it was
10.
about cooking and cleaning.
That.
Sorry, yes, it was
you'd have
4.
Said that. I mean, if God Almighty, if you're going to feed me wrong information, how am I supposed to know?
I didn't even write that note.
And then finally, we've something a little extra special this week on the podcast, because of course Jason Byrne was in with us celebrating the Paddy Power Comedy Festival, and obviously we had a chat on air and all that sort of stuff, but there was some stuff that didn't quite make it to the radio show.
Yeah, there was, and some stuff about slagging me off again. So there you go. This is a real masochistic podcast.
So you can get the full unedited version on the podcast right now, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
I just love this survey, and I love the way they've done it, right? So for the last 3 years, they've studied audiences going into concerts, right? From all different types of music. So they've been looking at people who go into pop gigs, hip-hop gigs, heavy metal gigs, rock gigs, all of those things.
Yeah.
And to find out who is the most patience. And it's a great thing to do, because those gigs test your patience. You have to queue to get in. You have to queue for drinks. Their drinks are expensive. The food is expensive if you're doing that.
Everything's expensive.
You got to hustle and bustle for a seat. So it really tests people. And amazingly, the people who came out, the fans, the most polite fans of any music, heavy metal fans.
Wow.
They're the ones who...
Rock fans.
Heavy rock and metal fans, they are the ones that will just... They are the most patient, the most polite. They're nicer to staff. They're nicer to each other. They're less likely to start arguments. They're less likely to moan about prices. They throw themselves into the occasion. They have the most fun. They're the best. They are the best.
Long live the leather-clad, studded...
Yeah, God gave
pierced.
rock and roll and manners to the pierced, long-haired, mullet-headed headbangers of the world.
Wow. So, and who's the worst then?
Classical music.
No way.
Believe it or not, classical music fans are the absolute pits, the worst.
The highbrow.
Are
the least patient.
More likely to moan, to piss and moan and fart now at them and complain.
That'll be entitlement.
Less nice to staff.
That's what
less
that'll be.
manners. All entitlement. Yeah.
I've paid €700 to hear this Beethoven's 7th.
Yeah, and there's a man next to me wearing a T-shirt. Not even free Prosecco.
Wow.
My God. Yeah, they're the worst.
Classical's the worst.
And hip-hop. Classical and hip-hop came very close. Now, classical was the absolute worst. Next was the hip-hop.
Hip-hop.
So rap fans, whatever, they were like very close to the bottom as well.
Wow.
When it came.
So where did your favourite, where did jazz feature?
Jazz! Amazingly, they're not on the list at all, but that's because nobody goes to jazz. Nobody wants to see it.
So it's kind of curious where the... kind of, because they take so long even to get through a song. I thought maybe they'd be quite patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? The jazz fans are fine. It's the actual jazz musicians that have no manners because they play this absolute scrambled racket.
Somebody's claiming country and western must be near the top.
It is near the top. It's top 3.
So they're patient,
They're very patient, yeah. They're all real nice to each other. Yeah. They love it.
Yeah. But your country songs, that's because they're all depressed. They're all waiting for their dog to die or whatever it is.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, there's 2 types of country song, isn't there? There's my dog died and drank my coffee.
Yeah.
And then my wife, she stole my left shoes. All of these things.
Yeah.
And then there's like the opposite country. It's like, wouldn't it just be great to be in Texas now? Cracking my whip and riding a cow. Riding a tractor all day long. There's no in between, there's nothing, you don't get cowboys singing about, I don't know, whatever, my wife is grand, I like me life, the car isn't broken and I have no strife. Up again, down again, doing a dance. These are a great pair of pants.
I'm afraid I have no words. I simply have no words.
I think I just wrote a hit.
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Something that, of course, has been lorded over us for a long time.
Yeah.
And when I say us, I'm speaking to the men of the Nova Nation.
Mankind, basically. Yeah,
exactly. Is allegedly our inability to multitask.
Apparently so. Apparently we are not able to multitask where women can. Well. They've done,
trust me, we're getting there.
They have done a survey. And what they did was they put a lot of cameras on a lot of public staircases over the, all around the place, really. Like loads of different situations, be it hotels or shopping malls or hospitals, whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's been an unusual phenomenon through the years that women tend to fall downstairs more than men.
Right.
So why? This is what this experiment was about. Why is this happening?
That's a genuine statistic.
Yeah, genuine statistic, yeah.
That women fall downstairs more than men.
They're 80% more likely to fall down a set of steps than men. Well. Turns out it's multitasking or the attempt at multitasking that's making women have these accidents in the first place. When men go down a set of steps, amazingly, they just go down a set of steps. What we've observed in this is when women go down a set of steps, they tend to be carrying coffee, wearing inappropriate footwear, having chats to their friends, maybe taking a phone call, maybe looking through their phone, maybe carrying excess baggage, maybe they have too many things going on. They're trying to make a phone call, trying to carry a bag, trying to carry a coffee, trying to eat
carry a child, or
a ham and cheese croissant, or whatever it is. They're basically trying to do 5 or 6 things at once, and women are better at multitasking than men. Well. You're getting hurt doing it. Health and safety says you're not actually better. You just should probably not do it as much. Now, it's causing injuries.
I may be paraphrasing here, but I think what you're trying to say to us is they're not paying attention.
They're not paying attention. You can't do 3, 4, 5 things at once and pay attention.
And for our own health and safety purposes, we as men know that. Which is why we step over the clothes at the bottom of the stairs that you're supposed to pick up and bring up with you when you happen to be going up.
Exactly. I'm not going to carry the clothes up the stairs.
I'm not going to risk me life.
What do you think I am, an idiot? I'm going to fall down the stairs. I will throw them up eventually when I feel safe in a different day.
Of course.
Yeah. You're taking your life into your own hands. You're turning a staircase into Kilimanjaro every time you go up and down it, carrying all these things.
So multitasking isn't it's positively a dangerous.
It's positively
activity.
dangerous.
It's what we're basically saying here.
Yeah.
Which is why we as men concerned with their own self-preservation.
Exactly.
Don't get involved in it.
70% of women do something on a staircase other than just walk on a staircase, whereas only 46% of men did. And those men, let's face it, they shouldn't be allowed out without helmets on. Those lads are they're crazy.
They should be in Darwin's waiting room.
They're absolutely asking for it, you know.
Yeah.
And 18% of women are seen speaking to people on stairs and escalators and all that. They can't. They're not focused on the job.
That's it.
Of getting up or down the steps. Lads don't do that. Lads get onto a set of steps. And actually, you know something, if I'm on an elevator with you, if we're walking and then, we're like, getting to a set of steps or whatever, I definitely have observed that we just kind of go one in front of the other.
And wait.
Have a bit of silence. Get to the top and go. So anyway, I was saying about the match there, yes, whatever, the conversation sort of carries on.
Because these people who, they'll get on a moving staircase and elevator and they'll get on it and then still continue to walk.
Yes.
What are you doing? You're literally, you're rubbing the person who invented that technology. You're snubbing them.
It's as if they shouldn't have bothered. Yeah.
Exactly. You get on and you allow the staircase to bring you to where you want to go.
You get on.
You don't think about anything else.
Don't think about it. Maybe you take out your phone and wait till you arrive at the top at a leisurely speed. Yeah.
Who'd have thought? Health and safety gurus.
Yeah, I knew multitasking wasn't our thing. What I didn't know is we were doing it for the safety, not just of ourselves, Jim, but for the safety of all mankind.
Absolutely. If we weren't around, how would we get the future generations?
Yeah. So I will say to a woman, if she's out there listening and she's about to take on a set of steps today, well.
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
What we were going to do is give out about younger people who are between the ages of 28 or 18 and 24, right?
Okay.
And apparently 1 in 4 of these people, or is it 1 in 4? Yeah, 4 in 10. Jeez, now you see, here's me slagging you. I haven't a clue what I'm on about. 4 in 10 of these people in this age group don't know how to cook a potato. They don't know. Not only do they not know how to cook a potato, but 4 in 10 of people between 18 and 24, they also don't know how to clean their house. To the point that they have to get their parents to come around and clean the property, as in they pick things up and they run around the place, but they don't really get where the dirt is coming from and can't seem to figure it out.
Right.
Very inadequate, I would say, Jim.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there. So basically, this whatever this is, just qualifies as a survey or something, or was this just a random kind of selection of people? Because this sounds now a little bit like I'm smelling a rat here, right?
Oh.
This sounds a little bit like the classic sort of used to be the classic husband take on if you had to do something and you did it badly enough, you'd never be asked to do it again.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
don't know how to make my own dinner.
Yeah.
You'll have to come around and make me dinner for me.
You're going to have to show me how to put a nugget in the oven.
But look, it literally sweep the floor. I don't know how to use a brush.
Yeah, you come in and you're holding the brush. The brush end up like a big moustache onto your face.
It doesn't work.
Pushing the handle around the floor. If anything, I think I might get sick.
Seriously. So,
the
only thing about it is now, and the other thing is,
potato, man.
Now hang on a second.
It used to be the boiling egg that was the problem, but cooking a potato.
I wouldn't go too far down that road if I was you.
Why?
You are the man who took on the famous turnip.
Oh, here we go again. A turnip's the size of a human head.
You're far more than 18 to 24. And what happened when you attempted to cook a turnip?
Right, Grant, I put the whole turnip in the pot and was wondering why it was taking so long. Yeah, Grant, why I had to keep replacing the water.
Because you just thought it was a big potato.
Yeah, I did think it was a big potato. Excuse me, I'm from Dublin. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see a turnip until I was 39. Okay? Turnips have our cultures. Nobody's tasted it. Grant, you only reason you had a turnip is because back in the Wild West when Finglas was the countryside, so somebody grew one or something. But let's be honest, nobody from Dublin's ever tasted a turnip before. It was an experiment.
But maybe these 18 to 24s think that potatoes don't involve peeling or whatever, and that they come in perfectly formed chip form.
Well, they're half-wits. Turnip is a far more...
in the same way as you thought cows were dinosaurs. when you saw them first?
Well, I didn't. I thought they were as big as dinosaurs. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
You thought they were hunted in the wild. Farmers hunted cows in the wild in order to make, beef and burgers.
Come here, you're making it sound like I just came up with this myself. I was watching cowboy movies, and they used to go out on cowboys to go out on horses, and they'd lasso the cows.
Right.
And then they'd make dinner. I thought that's what farmers did. The cows just ran around Ireland, and the farmers would have to get onto their horses or their tractors and go and catch them.
Right.
And then put them in a packet and put them in the supermarket.
Fair point, actually. Yeah.
It's a totally reasonable assumption. And I also thought that, because I only ever saw a cow on television, that a cow was about the size of a Labrador. I didn't realise it was the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Radio Nova with PJ and Jim and the brilliant Jason Byrne has just arrived.
Thank you.
Welcome. Good to see you, my man.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm grand.
I didn't ask, actually.
No, but I know. It's quite stressful coming here because I have to go through the tunnel.
Well, yeah,
if I got in a bit later, if I could get in after 10, it would be cheaper.
Yeah, that is true in fairness.
Yeah, it'd be cheaper. Is that what stresses you? Just the extra €3?
No, it's tenner.
It's not.
It's only 3 in. Do you know what I seen? I seen an outfit of PJ, right? It's South Dublin. You'll see them pulled in at the side there before the tunnle.
Oh, yeah,
We're reading a newspaper at 5 to 10.
waiting for the price to drop.
That's so Irish.
That's brilliant. Buys himself a coffee, a newspaper, a bar of chocolate and a sandwich, so he doesn't have to pay extra.
Just to ride it out.
I can imagine, if the coppers must just have to pull in, don't they? You can't sit here. And you might be there. But the Irish people, they'll always defend themselves. They know it's against the law.
Yeah.
But they'll always go, here, if it's only 3 more minutes. And then I can go through cheaper. As if the cop's going to go, you're dead right.
Fair point, actually.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Sorry, I was being a bit of an arse there. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was being a bit of a job's work, yeah.
Come here, I have to ask you this, right? So the reason Jason's with us is because obviously the Paddy Power Comedy Festival starts tonight, all right? Yeah. So it's kicking off tonight, runs all the way till Sunday. But all your gigs are sold out. What are you doing?
I came in to see you and spend a tenner. And then go into the car park beside here in the Gibson. What is it called?
The Point
Plaza.
Village.
Yeah. I don't even know where my car is anymore. I went in there. I've been going around circles and went in through wrong doors, and I don't know how much that's going to cost either. This is costing me a fortune.
I was just going to say,
I'm going to be out 20 quid.
Jason's in here selling everybody else's gigs.
I know,
and spending money on it.
I know. We're so sorry. We tried to help you sell tickets.
I know. But and I'm sold out. You just said we're sold out. Look, there's more gigs though. There's 4 of them or something.
I think there might be a few of your Saturday or Sunday gigs might be available still.
Oh no, they're gone now. The minute
they're gone as well.
This is on air now. I'm like Taylor Swift. Nobody knows. They weren't sure yet, and there's people sitting with their computers now. PJ waiting the button, going, they're going, boy, Jason Byrne.
Literally, as soon as you told the lad sitting in the car by the tunnel story, they went, I'm having more of that.
Yeah.
Get me a ticket for his show.
Well, there's all different. I think we do 20 minutes each. There's 4 acts on at a time.
Yeah,
and I get. Only this country this is ever said, because everybody else goes, there's 4 acts on, that's great, brilliant. But in Ireland here, in the past I've heard there's 4 acts on, so if you don't like 1 or 2, you'll probably like the other 2. Like, why?
Yeah,
it's so negative.
I know, but and I've done that myself. Yeah, selling shows. I've always gone now, because
but you weren't supposed to do it. You were on the stage.
Yeah, but PJ's going, you don't like me. He's coming on.
Yeah, will you go back to your seat? I'll be on in a minute. Jeepers, yeah.
So there is other acts on if you don't like any of us, you can just sit outside and have a burger.
Well, that's true as well. You can always just sit outside the gate like a man.
Me and PJ used to go there for our lunch. And when we worked in Light Dimensions, we used to go across Ivy Gardens.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when nobody knew about it.
Yeah, we used to call it the secret garden. Do you remember? Me and PJ thought we were the famous 5.
I was just going to say that sounds very Enid Blyton, all right. Yeah.
It was only me, but it wasn't a secret. Me and PJ just found out about it too late. There was loads of office workers in there having their wraps, and we were going. Me and PJ going, this is the secret.
Yeah. Did you know there's another green near Stephen's Green? Yeah. Well, I'm only after finding out now. There's a bit of that. So,
oh my God,
the worst.
The funny thing about those festival gigs, though, is there is like you're saying, there always is one act who's kind of doesn't deserve to be there. Like most of the acts are brilliant. In fact, 95% of them. But then there'll be one.
I'll name them, people. Number one.
Here we go. You can if you have tickets for any of these, you can get a refund.
But no, it's not even that they don't deserve to be there. But sometimes to be an act who's brilliant in America or brilliant in Britain, and then they come to Ireland and it just doesn't. No. I don't know.
Actually, I just realised the last time I saw UJ live was in the Ivy Gardens. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you should come in.
Yeah.
There's tickets.
No, that just occurred to me. That's not even part of a question. It literally just came into my head.
Look, can I just say, like years ago, we used to have like open spots when we started out, right?
Yeah.
Especially in Britain and in Ireland, but they were famous for being rubbish.
Yeah.
And, like the crowd almost looked forward to it. Like, do you know who was one of them? You know Frankie Boyle.
Yeah.
He was one of them.
No
he
way.
He used to die in his arse all the time in Scotland because he had this kind of different act altogether. Much more happy, outgoing thing, right? And he's like, not away, woo, like this. And they're like, oh my God. So this is when he came on, just miserable one day and just did really evil stuff. And they went, yep, that's better.
Yeah, we'll have more of that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we
Well,
will.
you didn't have to
Jack D as well. Didn't he only get famous when he got miserable?
He was all silly at the start, wasn't he? Like, there's a famous picture of him going around with a red nose on a Hooter thing, like, and
that picture's in the Comedy Store. As you go in the entrance, go down the steps, there's a huge picture of Jack in a dicky bow, and he's all got thumbs up, going, "Hey!"
You want to start getting angry, Jay?
Here, listen.
Start.
Yeah, no. People just go, oh, if you really listen to what I'm saying, they're like, oh, yeah. Sometimes I get, are you all right after the gig?
What I love about your
right?
shows, though, I've like watching your shows. So much of Jason's stand-up is about how the women in his life have dominated him, for years and stuff. And now it's
no wonder I'm drawn to his comedy.
Thank you, Jim. Me and Jim are the same club.
But now you're doing a play about your dad, so that's a totally different tact as well. Like,
well, you met me dad, PJ. So, like, the crack was that somebody said, because I do a lot of stories about me dad on stage, we stand up, you know. Then someone said, why don't you, like, because I always do me dad's voice when I'm doing him on stage. And then they said, why don't you do a play about your dad? Why don't you be your dad? I was going, oh, jeez, I could try it. And
this, of course, is the famous Paddy Lama.
Yeah, the Paddy Lama. So Paddy Byrne. So we call him the Paddy Lama because he was in a shed, cigarettes, whiskey, Perry Como. And he went down there for advice, right? Now, my dad wasn't far off PJ's dad as well. And I know your dad just passed you. I don't know what he was like, if he was like that.
Well, I don't know if I've ever come across the whiskey and the Perry Como, but there was certainly a few fags in there.
Yeah. So you went down to my dad for advice, but it was always too late. My dad's advice was too late. It was after you did something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He went, you shouldn't have done that thing now. If you came to me earlier. Now, I would have... What do you mean if I came to you earlier? I already told you. Ages ago. Do you know what I mean? You go, I wouldn't have bought that car now off that fella if you came to me earlier. So I'm doing this play about him, right?
Right.
And I'm him, and it's in the Dublin Fringe Festival. It's going to be in September, and I basically just come on as him. It's not me at all. Do you know what I mean? It's very funny watching the audience all kind of flinch and waiting for me to do something. I don't connect to them at all. So the crack is the audience are me, they're Jay, and I'm me dad, and me dad talks to the audience as if they're Jason coming to the shed.
Do they interact with you in it, or?
No, but here's the crack. I did it in Edinburgh, right? So I did it in Edinburgh. So I do the play. It's obviously heavily. It's all written. You know, loads of funny stories about me dad. There's stuff. Me mum and me sister are played in their voices because I recorded them on the sly without telling them when I was interviewing them about me dad. And it's fair. So my dad talks to them in the room. So he gives out to them. There's a bit there. My mum is going, we moved in here in 1973. No, 1960. No, Eric was born in 48, right? And then me as my dad go, oh, Jay. Go, your mother can never get anything right. Listen to her 48, 63. It's like bingo calling her own children. So the whole play I'd say for me, it's one of the best things I've ever done. I love doing it.
Oh, wow.
And it helps people kind of, mourn and like people who haven't done that but it reminds people it reminds them of their dad, their uncle, their cousin, their granddad. And when I was in Edinburgh, right, oh my God, right, I was in Edinburgh, and there was 4 outfits in the front, third row, 4 silver heads, and my dad, there's music in it. There's Perry Como through it all the time.
Brilliant.
Where my dad will just stand up and the music just starts playing, right? And there was like Magic Moments or whatever playing, like Magic, right? And the song's only going like that to get me into another little story, right? And my dad's there lighting a fag or whatever. And so every time there's a Perry Como song, these 4 outfits just started singing, right? So it would end. The tune in the room would end and they would just go Magic Moments, right? Then the whole room joined in. I'm sitting there in a play, right? And so all I did, I said, what would me dad say here? So my dad just went, all right, Jay, all right, well, sure, we're all, might as well have a sing-song. We're all here for something. Let's have a sing-song. So they all just they would sing the full song anytime there was anything else going on.
So that's at the Dublin Fringe in September then? That's the next chance to see it?
Smock Alley, yeah.
Oh, definitely
so
go to that.
Yeah, it's look, I mean, you know, it's really funny, and then there's a bit of heavy stuff in it. Like, and then, but don't worry, my dad, he helps everybody through the whole thing.
Grand.
He says, don't be crying now. Don't, because there's little tearful bits, but my dad hated crying. Like, I remember my mum going out one day, right? And my dad goes, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? My mum goes, I'm going in to visit whatever, Michael O'Brien or whatever. And he goes, Michael, what's going on? He's very, very sick in hospital, right? And my dad went, well, don't be crying over that man's bed. He's trying to die. so don't be crying. Crack a smile or something and have a laugh with him. Jesus Christ.
He's trying to die. No. Come here, listen.
He was always like that.
The other thing I have to ask you about as well is, I know you're here for the Paddy Power thing, but I have to ask you as well, because you know RPJ, obviously you know RPJ, his book is going to be coming out.
Yeah.
No,
But you're already on the book trail.
Yeah.
With the wonky-eyed man.
So I did a book called The Wonky-Eyed Boy ages ago.
Right.
Which has grown up from the ages of 5 to 15. And then they said, would you do a sequel, The Wonky-Eyed Man? So it's from 16 to till now. And so but my dad features heavily in it. He's in nearly every chapter. And then our Light and Dimensions is in it. PJ's in
brilliant,
it.
brilliant.
As well. There's bits of... Joe was so funny because me and PJ worked together and we had such crack, right? I wrote the book, right? And that when I went back to edit it, they went, is there any way we could have less of the Light and Dimensions in the book? Because people aren't going to believe it. Let's go all the stuff we did, like all the math.
Are you serious? So
you
you were putting in real stories.
Well, I put in stories where we put Richard in the fly case and sent him to Curry.
Was terrible.
Sent
You'd
him
be
to
arrested
Olympia.
for that now. My manager came from England and he says, right, we're just going to sort his place out, and we tied him up and put him in a box and had him delivered by courier to the Olympia.
Oh my God.
You'd be arrested now.
There's a scene I remember this bit I wrote in the book, right? It was me and PJ in the canteen. I think Shaggy was there, Stephen and Owen, right?
Yeah.
There was all that. We were literally the delinquents that worked on the floor. Yeah. Like, God, he'd be crying trying to get us to do stuff. So we're sitting in there, and we had a meeting in the canteen, and we hadn't met him yet. And that's what he did. He came in and he went, right, okay, I'm Richard, and we're going to get this place sorted like that, right? And Dieter, our boss, who, God bless him, I'm sure he's listening, good old Dieter. The minute he said, I'm going to get this place into shape and get used into shape, Dieter just put his hand over his face, rubbed his head really hard and walked out because he knew what was going to happen. Like, cut to your man, gaffer tape from his neck to his ankles. And
hanging out of the roof and everything. Yeah, we threw in a skip as well, yeah.
How did he not take a case against it? It's unreal.
It was the 90s.
Yeah. We were all doing it. Yeah. We were all getting... He's going to be hashtag gaffer tape me too.
Oh my God.
It was a rite of passage that we were all sent in boxes at some stage. Like.
Yeah. So look, anyway, that's what they said, because you just ease off of the stunts in the book. So I had to go back to writing something about me dad and somebody. So it's all about me stand up and stuff. It's like a memoirs, but it's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great.
Is that what yours is?
Is that what you put on it, yeah? Is that the tagline? Well, it's like a memoir, but it's not.
I'm nearly as bad as PJ at selling stuff. We're too honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People go, so is it like a memoirs? And we go, no. And then the book person beside me going, it is. He just tell them it is. It's about your blood. I mean, yeah, it's about my life story. Is it any good? It's all right. So I wouldn't be buying it myself now, but you know, just download it illegally or something.
I was there at the time. I didn't think it was great then.
I didn't really like it the first time.
Like, I have this thing on my poster in Edinburgh, and it drives me mad. It says the outright king of comedy written on the Times, and every time the journalist goes, so I'm going, what? I don't know what that's doing there. That's a load of rubbish. How am I the outright king? And nobody is. Do you know what I mean? And it's on me poster. I'd much rather, like, if there was some more miserable quote. Do you know what I mean? Right. Went to see him, it was alright. My wife didn't like him. You know what I mean? That's what I'd go and see that.
That's comedy. Yeah. Now you know you're in for a good night. Right, listen, there's still some adjacent shows available at the Paddy Power Festival.
And there's other people on if you don't like me.
Yeah.
What do you do?
There's 3 or 4
You sit through me. Like looking at your phone or something.
Yeah, and if you don't like him, don't start crying over him because he's trying to die.
Yeah, I'm dying on stage here. Don't start whinging.
Before we go, because we have to. The other morning, PJ was talking about someone. A fella on the roundabout going the wrong way, was it?
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, he did that. He doesn't even remember.
Did I?
Yeah. I remember the roundabout that you did it on as well. This is glorious. We were up in Bradford, up where my ma lives. He was driving, and we were driving your ma's car. You had only started driving, and we went the wrong way around the roundabout. We were going the wrong way. We were going, PJ, you're going the wrong way. And he went, what of it? What of it? We go, PJ, what of it? Listen, real quick, right? I'm coming back from Galway, right? And probably mentioned this in the show before. He would always say he would drive back, and I would drive down. But he would get hammered, and I'd have to drive back as well, right? Okay. We're going along, and he's trying to annoy me for like 3 hours, right? Yeah. And he's opening and closing the door as we're driving, right? His side, you know, like Jim Carrey. He's opening the door and he's going, and he's opening and closing the door going, PJ, and he's going, I nearly crashed the car laughing, crying. Oh my God. But the roundabout.
Oh, yeah.
Because I go up there quite often. I always remember that's the roundabout. PJ went the wrong way.
Brilliant. Look at that.
Oh, I never said.
Karma's a bitch, isn't it?
I never said anything about me being a good driver.
Anyway, listen, ppcomedyfestival.com if you want to try and get your hands on tickets for Jason. Or as he says himself, if you don't like him, there'll be loads of other people there now.
Yeah. And if you don't like any of us, imagine asking for your money back. Where's he go? That wasn't very funny at all. The 4 of them are rubbish.
You wouldn't give me money back on the book as well.
Wasn't that Paddy Power? Yeah, because Paddy Power's sponsoring it. They should put a bet on how rubbish the acts are. I bet you 4 out of 4 be crap. Paddy Power, mad fella.
I'll give you 15 to 8 on that.
Yeah, he's going to be standing in there. 16-2, this joke's funny.
Jason Byrne, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, man. As always, it was mental.
Yeah, don't know, got nothing done.
Glory Days, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Right, that was very long now. And do you know the whole duration of that podcast? I've been dying to go for a wee.
Oh, good, yeah. Well, I hope
you haven't got much else to say, have you?
No, well, you know something, if it means you slash yourself, I'd like to start off by talking about Genesis. In the beginning, God created the world.
Yeah. Get me
Let there be light.
Get me a copy of Ulysses.
Get me a copy of the Ulysses. I want to do my best reading of it for Jim. See what he thinks of the audiobook.
Well, that's it. Too late. I'm gone. You can talk to yourself.
Yeah. So, and then Ulysses, what's it about anyway? A space fellow, I suppose, isn't it? With the beard. Wasn't that it? The cartoon.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.